This afternoon, preparing for a worst-case scenario with world oil supplies set to dwindle, could fuel rationing now be on the cards? Triple tragedy in Sydney, 3 people killed in a fiery head-on crash in the city's south. Police in the UK widen their investigation into former Prince Andrew. And Melbourne comes alive with footy fever as Collingwood's Scott Pendlebury prepares to make history at the MCG.
This is 7 News with Paul Kadak.
Good afternoon. The Albanese government isn't ruling out fuel rationing as global energy officials warn the oil market could hit a red zone in coming months. Government documents reveal Labor has a plan to cap just how much fuel drivers can put in their cars under a worst-case scenario. Political reporter Josh Martin has more from Canberra.
Good evening. The Energy Minister doesn't believe Australia will hit a scenario where motorists are forced to scale back how much fuel they buy, but he's not rejecting the idea that it's a possibility.
Is the government going to rule out fuel rationing?
Look, we still don't regard that as being likely.
Chris Bowen doesn't deny his department has planned for a nightmare scenario. In fact, he says it's a wise move. The Guardian has obtained Department of Energy documents under Freedom of Information showing the Albanese government has considered a worst-case scenario with a rationing rule that imposes a maximum transaction value per vehicle per day.
That's prudent. You know, this is a volatile world.
The International Energy Agency warns things will get worse unless the Iran war ends soon and the Strait of Hormuz reopens, as European summer travel season will increase demand for jet fuel.
We may be entering the red zone in July, August, if we don't see that there are some improvements.
Australia now has 43 days of petrol, 38 days of diesel, up 2 on last week, but jet fuel has dropped down to 31 days.
The important thing for Australian motorists is to know not to panic. There's a lot of fuel on the market.
Chris Bowen says a further 48 cargoes carrying 3.4 billion litres of fuel are right now headed for Australia, but frustration is growing inside the government over the slow pace of negotiations to end the Middle East conflict and open the Strait of Hormuz.
Pauline Hanson will be the opposition leader after the next federal election, according to a shock new poll. The Redbridge seat-by-seat survey currently has One Nation on track to win 53 lower house electorates in 2028, plunging Labor close to minority government on 76 seats and wiping out the coalition, leaving it just 12. The major party leaders have spent the day in Melbourne, revving up supporters ahead of November's Victorian state election. 3 people have been killed after a driver fleeing police crashed into another car in southern Sydney, with security camera footage of what happened now crucial evidence. Rex Whale reports.
3 people are dead after a late-night crash on the Captain Cook Bridge here in Sans Souci.
CCTV shows a white Audi flipping over a barricade and smashing into an oncoming Toyota Camry around 12:30 last night. The 42-year-old in the Audi and 2 men in their 20s in the Camry dead on impact.
We opened up the door and went across and saw that, and it was just, it was horrific, terrible. Terrible, such a waste of life.
The Audi driver had fled a police welfare check only minutes before, speeding away, crashing as he rounded a bend on Rocky Point Road.
Yeah, we believe that the Audi was travelling at considerable speed. The circumstances of what have occurred last night, from what I understand, are horrific and tragic.
Neighbours leaping into action as the car caught fire.
I came up from the lane and realised it was on fire, so I grabbed my neighbour's fire extinguisher.
Today, the cars were cleaned up by crash investigators, traffic was blocked all morning, and police are investigating how and why the man fled the scene.
7 News will have all the details at 6 p.m. tonight.
The investigation into the former Prince Andrew is worsening for the royal, with UK police confirming they're now looking into allegations of human trafficking. Isabel Mullen has the latest from London.
Good afternoon. Well, local police here in the United Kingdom are really widening their investigation into former Prince Andrew. This is now a trafficking investigation. They are asking witnesses and more alleged victims to come forward. They're treating it as a trafficking investigation amid those allegations that convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein allegedly sent a woman to stay with the former prince back in 2010 at the Royal Lodge. These are allegations that the King's brother strenuously denies. Police really need to get enough evidence together to convince the courts they can take this to trial. We did see Prince William out and about in regional England today. He didn't acknowledge this deepening scandal. Now, the former prince has never been charged with any offences. If it does make its way to court, though, and he is convicted, he faces a maximum penalty of life in prison.
New video has emerged of the assassination of a Sydney underworld figure in Vietnam. It shows the moment the killer opens fire outside a seafood restaurant in Ho Chi Minh City. Local police are looking for 2 Australian suspects who they believe have travelled to the Cambodian border. Authorities in Peru are investigating whether faulty safety barriers may have contributed to the death of a senior police officer from Victoria. 52-year-old Sergeant Matt Payton stumbled on the iconic Inca Trail, plunging 400 metres to his death. It took rescuers a day to find Sergeant Payton's body. His family is travelling to South America from Melbourne to bring the much-loved officer home. Collingwood legend Scott Pendlebury has just become the all-time AFL Games record holder, running out for his 433rd match. The 38-year-old previously became just the 6th player in VFL AFL history to reach the 400 club, now surpassing the milestone in front of a roaring crowd at the G.
Pendlebury family, wife Alex, watching on as Scott runs out with their 2 children, Jax and Darcy, and every single Collingwood player with the gold number.
It is just the latest accolade in an already illustrious career. Pendlebury has won 5 Collingwood Best and Fairest, 6 All-Australians, and until today's game, a record 10,955 possessions. All 23 Pies players on the field this afternoon are wearing a golden number to mark the momentous occasion. Still to come in 7 News, counting down to the Steroid Olympics, the controversial sporting event where taking banned substances is fair game. Plus, liftoff on the largest and most powerful rocket in history. And from the concert hall into the great outdoors, how opera singing is helping rebuild communities in the outback. That's next.
Colin makes a rustic Reuben sandwich worth wearing.
That's how messy it gets. Smoky, it's sweet, it's spicy. You can easily do this on your barbecue. Oh my God, that is good.
Better Homes, tonight.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Vic. But when you gotta get up, because there's more work to do, well, VB's got a mid-strength now too.
When it's the crack of dawn, you've got a big day ahead. You've got to slam a can of solar energy. This person's a pro, do not attempt this at home. But when you need to crush whatever's next, grab a solar energy.
Red Rock Deli style crackers. A symphony of flavour that will awaken your senses.
Sweet Drip Bubble Fizz. Strawberries and cream. Sweet Drip Bubble Fizz. Strawberries and cream. New Pepsi Max. Strawberries and cream.
Hold on, it's the new Mountain Dew Typhoon. Strawberry and pineapple.
Can I try some?
Excuse me. Can I try some too?
100k plus commission if they seal the deal.
Sounds like a job match made in heaven.
Nice.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
For the best job matches. And you shall find. Amart Stock Take Sale is on now. Save up to 50% off a huge range, like the Marseille dining table. Save $700. Or the Wolfgang recliner range, now up to $1,200 off. Hurry, shop in-store or online today at Amart.
Backache, back again? Thankfully, Panadol Extra contains a combination of ingredients which provides more powerful pain relief. Extra strength relief for tough pain. That's one for Panadol Extra.
A controversial new event in Las Vegas is tearing up the sporting rulebook. The first ever enhanced games will feature athletes who openly use performance-enhancing drugs, with those who break world records set to pocket millions. Rob Scott reports.
Las Vegas, a city famous for high rollers and risk takers, provides the perfect backdrop for what could be one of the biggest sporting gambles of all time. The bright lights of the Strip playing host to the inaugural enhanced games, where taking banned substances isn't frowned upon, it's encouraged. 42 world-class athletes will compete in sprinting, swimming and weightlifting, lured to take part in the controversial experiment with the promise of a massive jackpot. Break a world record and pocket $1.4 million.
Probably very straightforward. It's about the money. You know, I don't think I've got anything to prove.
Australian Olympic silver medalist James the Missile Magnuson has become the game's poster boy.
Maybe we're a little ignorant down in Australia. We do things fairly, we do things cleanly, but that's not the case around the world. So if nobody's going to play by the current rules, maybe we change those rules and maybe this does become the future of sport.
The Enhanced Games is the brainchild of Australian businessman Aaron D'Souza. The concept, a competition without limits. Athletes using steroids, hormones and peptides administered under strict medical supervision, pushing the boundaries of what's humanly possible.
4 months ago, I was in the worst shape of my life, sitting in a 9 to 5, and now I truly believe I'm going to swim the fastest I ever have.
But not all of the competitors are juiced up. A handful, including US Olympic sprinter Fred Curley, have chosen to compete clean.
So is this a competition or a performance?
Both. I'm putting my body on the line. It's a competition.
Written off by global sports bodies, the Games have been labelled a dangerous clown show that risks normalising doping. But for competitors like Magnuson, it's a chance to unlock his full potential.
Side effects? I don't know. How do I look? My hair's still there, no acne.
The Games begin on Monday, the start of a new sporting era where performance-enhancing drugs are pulled out of the shadows and put under the bright lights of Sin City.
Mediators are making a desperate bid to stop the ceasefire with Iran from crumbling. US President Donald Trump cancelled his plans this morning, meeting instead with top security officials as the airspace over Iran cleared today. The US Secretary of State said a plan B is needed.
We have to start thinking about what do we do if a few weeks from now Iran decides we don't care, we're going to keep the straits closed, we're going to sink any ship that doesn't listen to us or doesn't pay us. Then someone's going to have to do something about it.
Meantime, America's head of intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, has resigned following a tumultuous tenure, announcing she's leaving the role to care for her husband, who was recently diagnosed with bone cancer. Her time in office was marred by controversy, with reports President Donald Trump sidelined her from key national security discussions, including the war in Iran. A woman in Russia has made a lucky escape after a portable battery exploded in her bag. The rechargeable device spontaneously combusted just as she entered an elevator. She was trapped in the lift for an agonising 30 seconds as toxic smoke filled the cab before the doors opened. At least 90 people have died after a massive gas explosion at a coal mine in China. Nearly 250 people were working underground when the blast ripped through the mine in the country's north. Search and rescue efforts are now underway, with at least 9 people unaccounted for. It's already China's worst mining disaster in over a decade. Elon Musk's SpaceX has launched the latest version of its Starship rocket from Texas. It's a major milestone for the company as it works towards returning astronauts to the moon and eventually reaching Mars. The uncrewed spacecraft completed a near hour-long mission despite losing one of its engines mid-flight. The Starship V3 is the largest and most powerful rocket in history. Beloved US late-night TV host Stephen Colbert has bid farewell to The Late Show. Colbert closed the show for the final time in New York last night.
Now, I'll say to you what I've said to every audience for the last 11 years, and I've meant it every time. Have a good show. Thanks for being here. And let's do it, y'all.
The show was axed by the CBS network just days after Colbert criticised its parent company Paramount for settling a lawsuit with Donald Trump over a US 60 Minutes interview. Back home, and the sound of classic music has echoed across the wide plains of central West Queensland. The Festival of Outback Opera returning for its 6th year to the recently flood-devastated communities of Longreach and Winton. The event hoping to draw much-needed tourism dollars, attracting hundreds of visitors.
Event-based tourism is our absolute lifeline, and we have seen the recovery through events in the outback.
The festival ends on Monday. Sport is next with Tom Sacre, and Tom, a fairy tale finish for North Melbourne.
Paul, it was simply spectacular. The Kangaroos got it done at the death. Still to come in 7 News. Fremantle go 10 straight for the first time and top of the AFL ladder for now. Plus, forget the oldest rivalry in rugby league. Cam Murray and Victor Radley are now Blues brothers.
Tomorrow, is it time to renovate or wait? The latest building advice for Australian homeowners. Your important property questions answered on Weekend Sunrise from 7 a.m.
What happens when we put a rugby player against an AFL player, against a golfer and a bloke who plays chess? It's sports night. Which of these images have we altered? Who'll knock it out of the park? And who'll be knocked out? Good, what's your sport?
Football.
Any head injuries?
Look at me face.
No, I didn't say any face injuries. Those are obvious, mate. Find out which sport is the smartest.
New Aussie 1% Club. Sunday at 7 on 7.
Bargain. I think that's a scam site.
Just think of the
Don't worry.
you could do.
I've just locked everything down.
We're not you, but when it comes to protecting your money with SafeBlock, we can be your W.
The F1 is about to start. It's lights out and away we go. The fans can barely believe their eyes. What a moment. So be careful. Debris on track. Here's the safety car.
Doritos, official partner of Formula One. Taste the thrill.
Taking the family to Fiji. And look,
I've been stuffed. I've been sat on.
I smell like banana sun cream. And I'm having the time of my life.
What if $2 was all it took to win this Montville masterpiece? With a guest retreat, 2 cars and gold, this $6.7 million Marta Prize home package is pure magic. Get your tickets now.
How do you pick a pick-me-up? Do you pick a lick? A sip? Or a bite? Or do you pick not to pick and get them all from the loose change menu? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Can you grab the cordial, kids?
Coughs, cold and flu are no fun. Save the day with Codral Kids.
I've just been 1.5 billion years into the future and I'm still paying too much for my car and home insurance.
Call with Budget Direct first. They've paid out over $1.5 billion on claims in the last 12 months.
Well, North Melbourne has stunned the Gold Coast Suns with an incredible win after the siren. The Roos trailed by as much as 43 points in the second quarter, but booted 6 of the last 7 goals to claim a magnificent 6-point victory.
Things weren't looking great for us early at different stages of the game today, but just so pleased that we're able to find a way and just continue to have belief.
It's their second biggest comeback in club history. Last night, Fremantle secured a club record 10th straight win, toppling St Kilda by 30 points in Perth. Shea Bolton backed up an incredible mark with a stunning goal in the fourth quarter.
He couldn't kick that. Oh, yes, he could, and he's dancing all the way through.
At the MCG, Essendon's nightmare season continued. 5 Bombers suffered injuries, including skipper Andy McGrath, in an 18-point loss to Richmond. Having enjoyed a day off, the Blues are back training for next Wednesday's State of Origin opener. Cameron Murray and Victor Radley will finally unite in blue, hitting pause on their Rabbitohs and Roosters rivalry. Murray says Radley's aggression makes him perfect for Origin football.
Most of my career, I think I've only played 1 or 2 games with him in a rep jersey, and so most of our career we've been playing against each other. He's built for an arena like this, and you know, he'll bring his best, and he definitely deserves his shot.
Murray also says he's happy to be back in a Blues jersey after missing last year entirely. Cronulla captain Cam McGuinness will leave the NRL at the end of the season, the 32-year-old signing a 3-year deal with York City in the Super League. The Bulldogs have given their NRL season a lifeline after coming back to defeat the Storm last night. Trailing 18-6 at half-time, the Dogs surged home to win 30-20. Jacob Carraz starred in his return from a knee injury at fullback as Cam Ciraldo's men snapped a 5-game losing streak.
It's hard to ignore all of it. Not just the outside noise, the rumours that circulate and the bullshit that gets made up. I feel really, I'm really proud of this group.
Bulldogs forward Jacob Preston suffered a broken forearm. The Brumbies locked up a Super Rugby final spot after crushing the Waratahs' hopes in Sydney last night. From 21-0 down, Wallabies gun Max Jorgensen gave the Tars a glimmer of hope. But it wasn't enough. The Brumbies held on to win 21-14. The Reds have secured a spot in the top 6 with a gritty 33-31 win over Moana Pacifica in Auckland. The world's top tennis stars are threatening to go on strike ahead of the French Open. Players are unhappy with the percentage of revenue allocated in Grand Slams. The likes of Jannik Sinner and Arina Sabalenka intentionally shorten their pre-tournament interviews at Roland Garros.
It's not about me. It's about the players who's lower in the ranking, who's suffering. It's not easy to live in this tennis world with that percentage that we are earning.
The French Open is supposed to begin tomorrow night. After a decade of Premier League domination, Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester City at season's end. The champion manager has won 20 trophies with City, including 6 league titles.
I like to feel that my vibe or my energy will be there forever, so I like that feeling.
Manchester United confirmed Michael Carrick as their permanent manager on a 2-year deal. Oscar Piastri will start from 4th on the grid for tomorrow's sprint race at the Canadian Grand Prix. It was a chaotic opening practice session in Montreal.
That he's basically got on the power there and absolutely lost it.
Alex Albon put his Williams into a wall after hitting a groundhog. George Russell secured pole in qualifying ahead of championship leader Kimi Antonelli and Lando Norris. Brodie Kostecki has copped a brutal blow on day 1 of racing at the Tasmania Super 440 after being back-ended by David Reynolds, dropping him down the order and costing him 2nd spot in the championship standings. Andre Heimgartner dominated to finish on the top step of the podium ahead of Brock Feeney and Matt Payne.
Been a bit of a hard slog. It's been many years since I've won a race. Early on I was struggling a little bit compared to Brock and was having to defend a little bit more than I wanted.
After being beaten off the start from pole position, Chaz Mostert claimed his first win of the season in the opening race. Paul, thankfully, no groundhogs in Tasmania today.
Yeah, groundhogs normally predict more winter. I don't know what hitting one does. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Still to come in 7 News, we'll take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast right around the country.
On 7 News, exclusive, the dad who took on the supermarket giant and won.
You kind of think, oh, it's a good Australian company that looks after the common person.
The products he bought that revealed a scandal.
In my email, there was an entire history of a few years of shopping dockets, so I just uploaded them all to the lawyers.
Forcing the giants to drop your grocery prices.
It's a fantastic feeling to say, yeah, you know, I helped out.
On 7 News, Sunday.
Pendlebury, and the black and white rises one.
On an historic day, 7 brings you live coverage as well as the man himself, Scott Pendlebury, the record breaker. Live tonight, 8 p.m. on 7 and 7+.
Bargain. I think that's a scam site.
Just think of the
Don't worry.
you could do.
I've just locked everything down.
We're not you, but when it comes to protecting your money with SafeBlock, we can be your W. Bargain. I think that's a scam sign.
Just think of the
Don't worry.
you could do.
I've just locked everything down. We're not you, but when it comes to protecting your money with SafeBlock, we can be your W.
I'm coming for you. Cue up the spotlight. Drum up the beat right. You want this so bad, go get it, I dare ya.
Right legal help, your world can be repaired. What's owed can be returned. And together, we can right wrong. Talk to Shine Lawyers to check if you have a claim.
When you need stitches, not surgery. If you have a cut, not chest pain. Or if you've hurt your hand, not your head. That's a case for a bulk-billed walk-in Medicare urgent care clinic. Find locations and opening hours at health.gov.au/Medicare UCC. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
When your kid is sick, there's a weight you carry, trying to be strong for everybody else. We were two dads carrying it. For a moment, we carried it together.
Help restore and maintain balance with LifeSpace Triple Strength Probiotic, just $37.49 from Chemist Warehouse. The high-strength, biodiverse formula supports digestive system health and immunity. Live, look, feel well at Chemist Warehouse.
Taking a look at the national weather, onshore winds are delivering showers to eastern New South Wales and Queensland's southeast. A front and unstable air mass bringing rain to central and southern Australia, a high keeping things mostly dry elsewhere. Around Australia tomorrow, Brisbane a shower or two and 25. For Sydney, showers and 22. Canberra a possible shower heading for 18. Showers increasing for Melbourne and 18. Hobart partly cloudy and 18. Adelaide, showers and 18. Perth, mostly sunny with a top of 21. Darwin, mostly sunny and 32. And that is 7 News to now. Our next bulletin is 7 News at 6 o'clock. I'm Paul Kadak. From all of us here at the team, thanks for your company.
The 7 News app will give you the news you want every minute of every day, including breaking news alerts. Download the 7 News app now.